actually I should say this web conference. If you're getting into this web conference a little bit late, you should have the software up and running, and you should have on your screen right now a presentation which says first an introduction. In just a few minutes after we get through some of this housekeeping information, we'll get right into the gory details of the market. In 1991, 1992, I was a Desert Storm vet. I graduated also what many consider to be the world's most demanding military training. That's the U.S. Army Special Forces selection. I was only in the Army for 4 years and 9 months, and quite frankly, being a trader and having a trader's mentality, I didn't exactly fit in with the Army culture, if you can imagine it. Traders tend to be very independent. We tend to like to go our own way. So trying to fit that into the military didn't quite work. So we parted on amicable terms. It was an honorable discharge. But nevertheless, it was something that I'm glad I went through, but I'm glad God had other plans for my life. 1994 and 1995 is when I left the Army and met my future wife. And if any of you have ever wondered if there is such a thing as love at first sight, I am a living testament to that. The very second that I saw her, I knew that she was going to be my wife and I'd be with her for the rest of my life. So then about 1997, Sarah and I are partners with, at that point, America's largest agent for what was then AirTouch Cellular. She handled a lot of the salespeople and dealing with the different markets. She was instrumental in turning around several of those markets and making them very, very profitable where they just couldn't make it work otherwise. We were doing business in actually over 20 states. We had well over 400 employees, sub-agents, vendors. It was a very big operation. But it was also during this time that I got introduced to trading. And here's how it happened. We were at a trade show, and normally at trade shows, if you've ever done anything like that, you don't pick up what's called the swag or this free stuff that's all over the tables, because if you're doing these trade shows, you're going to have this stuff filling up your entire house. So we didn't take it. We didn't take the free pens, the free letter openers. But for some reason, I was walking by this very large trade show. I was walking by a table and grabbed a video off of this table without really thinking about it. Took a look at the cover. The cover seemed pretty compelling, and I took it home. Now, on that tape was an introduction to the world of trading. And prior to that, I had been what you would call an investor. In the military, they taught us about how to save your money and bonds and stocks and mutual funds and things like that. We had different people come into our company and present information on how to invest our money. Of course, being a young man and sort of gung-ho, I figured, I'll worry about that when I'm older. It appealed to me on one level, but I never really went after it with a lot of gusto. I figured, let me just let everybody else take care of it. The experts will let me, will lead me down the primrose path. Of course, over the last 7 or 8 years, we've all found where that can get you. So this tape, I'm watching it, and I don't know if you've ever had an experience where there was something about the information that you're seeing. It resonates with you, and you just know that your life is never going to be the same. And that's exactly what happened to me. I knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this thing called trading was what I wanted to do. And I just dove in with both feet. I started transitioning out of the company, which, due to other reasons, our business partner was extremely poor with money. To give you an example, one of our trucks backed into his BMW 740iL, which at that time was, the ultimate driving machine, if you will. Rather than get the bloody thing repaired, he actually had them truck one in 3 days all the way from Florida. So he spent another, I think it was $117,000 to get a car rather than waiting. So needless to say, there were some other issues in the business that we started to discover. So we were transitioning out of that business anyway. By 1999, I was a full-time trader. I was starting to get requests from friends and family to